Hello everybody and welcome to this playthrough for the back 9 here from Master Division Opening Round and Weekend Round Edition with obviously the correct wind. And this is gonna be a playthrough where you will see a drop on every single hole. And the thing is though that these shots here has been designed, worked through and also are featured in our guide. And if you want to take a part of our guide, the best guide on the market, pro, expert and master, obviously you don't have to have all the divisions, you can have master only if you would like that, or pro only or expert only. Go to patreon.com/golfclashtommy. You have a link directly in the description below. Follow along with the info box on the right hand side here and you can see the adjustment, the club, the ball. Obviously it's limited here in this playthrough to what is possible to share in this short amount of time. Obviously all the details is described in the Ultimate Tournament Guide zone. So once again, thank you so much for watching here and let's go to hole number 10. So for hole number 10, we're gonna go for the blue ring by the rough line, complete max distance with Apocalypse level 8. Here I would like to have a high wind, and the reason for that is that then it will reduce the need of overpower in at least the tailwind angle. This is a crosswind angle, and you're gonna notice that we're gonna be pushing up almost all the way up to max here. So we are adjusting max plus 10, power 5. And then I'm pushing up 7.5 rings with Apocalypse level 8 here. Obviously different push up for Apocalypse 5, 6 and 7. And so we're pushing it up, and then I'm gonna use 2 right spin, and I'm also going to use, in this case when it's such a heavy crosswind, or like but it's still high wind, I'm going 2.8 topspin. But what we will list is, if you do have a crosswind angle like this, you go 3 topspin. If you do have a tailwind angle, you go 2.5 bar of topspin. But obviously if having king winds like this, is better to take a little bit less, even though we would definitely have room for 3 topspin there. So on the fringe, you can be on the green, you can be for a longer wedge plays, max, not max, but EB school plus 30. Same type of structure we had on the front 9, which we would add 2. Hole number 11, I'm going to start with the sniper in complete max distance with a power 3 ball with a white ring by the sand trap line there to the right. Have in mind that I'm looking to have not the transparent part of the white ring by the sand trap line, but the full white line there. I'm switching to Cataclysm after I'm setting 2 left spin and 2.5 bar top spin. And we will, with this angle, be going 2 clicks of left curl. Adjustment is 1-to-1 with cat 8, and I will check afterwards here what that actually are, for you to get an elevation number. The reason I'm switching to the Cataclysm is to ensure that we're not gonna pull more than 1 time, because it's unnecessary in my opinion to pull twice, and that's why Cataclysm works well, as we're not using the ball guideline as a reference. So 1-to-1 with cat 8 is gonna be here. Let us look what we can get it to. We do have there, oh, and then maybe like that. There we go, max plus 20 power 0 ball is what we're using with whatever cat that you are having. So it doesn't matter if you have cat 5, 6, 7, 8, all has the same power, so do play the same. So max plus 20, power 0. So on the drive, we're gonna make it simple here. We're using a power 3 side spin 2 ball, and we don't need a side spin 2 for the drive, but we do need it for the second shot. 6.5 top spin and 1 right spin. We're using the green ring, or the inner ring, not the inner ring, but the 4th ring to be by the rough line with a poke 8. We adjust max plus 10 power 3, and For those of you playing with Apocalypse level 5, you add 1 ring of overpower. Max curl to the right. Make sure to do your very best to avoid any overpower or underpower, because that could obviously be a case of getting you into trouble here. Gets down center fairway, we're looking to be around 380 yards. So for the second shot, unfortunately, on the 3 drops I have on this hole, both were in the timeout mode, which means that I timed out, and then then the replay wasn't there. So I'm gonna show you another one just to show you the structure. So we start with 2 backspin, 2 left spin, and ball guideline to go through the hole. You could see there that I was moving forward until it showed that little glitch where it showed to go through more than 1 green square. And then after that we changed to a 3 backspin, 1 left spin. We do this to not have to offset right of pin. That's the only reason why I'm doing this here. So we're playing 54% slider, 25% elevation, power 3 ball settings from the base of +10. However, though, when it comes to this shot here, it's not played with the same slider, and that's why I really didn't want to show this. I wanted to show one of the drops instead. But so follow the advice there with 54% slider, 25% elevation, P3 numbers. So for the rocket shot here, we're gonna play with a power 1 ball, backspin boost 3, and here we're gonna set up at max line. Now I'm looking at the tip of the ball guideline to fall down in the middle of the dark green square row. So, and here I'm looking at the pin in terms of judging what tweak for the wind angle I'm gonna do. So if I'm having the ball guideline, if I'm having the grid line to the left of the pin, which I'm having here, then I'm not using any curl. If I'm having the grid line by the pin, I'm starting to use left curl, and obviously more left curl, the more right it becomes in that case. Adjustment is max +5, power 5, which is 1 to 1 -1. So if I'm having an 8 miles per hour wind, I'm adjusting 7 rings. Ball gets up the hill, falls down, and this has been a really good shot for me here, but with several drops in several different wind angles, so which is good on hole number 13. So on the drive here, we're gonna start at the top of +13 by using then also 4 left spin and a 4.5 bar top spin. So what that means is that you, as playing with a POC 5, can also play this type of shot without having to do any type of tweak. So top of +13, then we set the spins, 4 left spin, 4.5 bar top spin. Now, it is important here now to not do a 1201. I have a tendency to pull 1201, and a favorite 1201 is fine, but I would strongly advise you to try to pull for a favor 1159 to try to avoid the risk of having a big 1201. Because if you do have a big 1201, or just a regular 1201, you will most likely see yourself drop into the bunker with the second bounce, and we don't want that to happen. Inside wall curl left to push the ball a little bit more, and we bounce on the fairway, and then over the bunker. And the goal here is to get to 360 to 365 yards. So if getting the drive to around 360, which is a very consistent thing for us here, then we're always going to play 3.5 top spin and 2 left spin. And what we're looking for here now is the tip of the ball guideline. You will notice that once I've set my position, the tip of the ball guideline is going to be basically, it's going to be straight at pin, halfway into that bright green square there. And that's obviously hard to replicate, so make sure to look at how it is straight at pin. So this angle here is when we do have a little tailwind angle when it comes to this shot. So what I'm doing here is that I play the numbers straight up. If I would be having a little crosswind, we'll have a little wind angle tweak for that as well. So perfect ball here is gonna actually be a very good chance. I have never really been a fan of this type of shot, to be honest, but this shot worked both in practice 2 times and it worked live as well with 3 perfect balls, which is enough for me to consider this one to be a very good chance. On the drive, there is value in playing with a win 5 ball to reduce the amount of overpower that is needed. And so when it comes to the setup, we start at the top of +8, green ring, or in the 4th ring by the rough line to the right. And I'm using 7 top spin and 1 right spin. This to be Apox 6 adapted. Adjustment is going to be max +10 P3. So whatever you adjust into here, then you're gonna add 2.5 rings of overpower. When you play with Apocalypse level 5, you're gonna play with 3.5 rings extra overpower. So let's say here now I go half a ring into overpower. Then I'm gonna play half a ring plus 2.5 rings. So 3 rings of overpower is the goal. Perfect ball is obviously the best. A single great right is better than a great left here on this court, and you do want to have this rollout. The key is to get this rollout, and we want to get to around 375 yards. This is absolutely perfect. I will explain in the end of the video why I'm choosing a side spin 4 ball here, and also to be said, this shot is designed from the beginning for a wind 4 ball, so you don't have to play with a wind 5 ball, but obviously it does reduce the amount of overpower that you have, that you can or that you need to use. But a win 4 ball works as equally well here on hole number 15. So on the second shot here, we're gonna play with 3 right spin and 1 back spin. But first and foremost, we're gonna have to do a back fringe check. The back fringe check +6 is what we're gonna look into. And when it comes to the back fringe check +6, then we're gonna have a reference that lies at 9% slider is what we are having there as a reference. If we're having a shorter drive, we do have a pin check to follow, and so then we set it up and we adjust 9% slider, 10% elevation, power 3 ball. Settings. Ball guideline to be 1 cup before the cup, otherwise you're gonna come in too hot. Perfect is an absolute money on this one. Great left could have a chance if you're lucky, but great right will most likely miss. When it comes to the reason of me choosing a side spin 4 ball, as I said in the beginning of the drive that I would explain later, the reason I choose the side spin 4 is that let's say that I do have a drive, I maybe have a dead roll or something like that, then I have the backup that I can use the side spin 4 to still get myself around the mound that is on this fairway, which is a very difficult one to play into, and that's the reason why I do so. And also that's the reason why a Kingslayer works as equally well on hole number 15. For hole number 16, we do have an old slide that is absolutely money. We have rearranged it a little bit to make it a little bit more spot on. And the key here is the landing position, and that's good that we do have 3 references, which is the blue ring by the rough line, second bounce just before the fringe, and then the third one is the ball guideline to be in the wall between the bright and the dark green square row. It's 4 right spin and 4.2 back spin, and then we are going to look at the wind angle here. This is going to be more towards the what we judge to be the yellow line here, and the yellow line here is going to be called for 2 clicks of a right curl. So we're going to have the 2 clicks of right curl, and the more tailwind we have, the more curl we're going to have to use. And the reason for that is that the tailwind pushes the ball further in front, and then it's harder to get the ball to curve as we would like. This is shot that has seen itself be money. Last tournament we had this shot, it was absolutely money, and I hope it's going to continue to be that this tournament too. So for hole number 17, we're gonna play with the Thor's Hammer, trying to replicate what we did on front 9. Unfortunately, this is gonna be a much more rare hole in one. The reason for that is that we are not having as much tailwind as we're having on front 9. But we're gonna try though. I'm playing from plus 25 and at the same as on the front 9. Look at the ball guideline if you're struggling with the ring references here. Now, I'm playing with 7.8 bars of topspin and 2 left spin. We do obviously have different angles here. If you do have the tailwind angle, which makes you pull back to around plus 20, 21, then I would say you have the chance to get the ball to have that nice little rollout to attack the pin. But if you don't, then I would say it's highly unlikely that you will have that nice rollout and will most likely just bounce on the fairway nicely over the bunker and just sit like that for a short wedge, or you roll into the green for a short putt. It's 0.75 ball left curl. It's max plus 5 power 5 ball settings that we are adjust. So if you get to green, obviously you're gonna have a putt, but if you don't, then you're gonna play EB School as we did in qualifying round. We play plus 20 P5 numbers with no spin, or we do play the max top spin method, which is EB School minus 35% elevation and the P4 numbers. And that's what I'm doing because I do have the Endbringer 8, because you can use that with Endbringer 7 and Endbringer 8. Ball guideline into the hole, obviously, this to prevent us from missing if we do have a little bit of underpower. Adjust, hit perfect or hit great. It doesn't really matter when you use this much topspin being so close, it's still going to drop. Perfect ball. And we'll see a nice, simple, easy drop here on hole number 17. So here on the drive, there is a couple of things that is important. We're gonna have to push hard here because we don't want to, we do want to have an opportunity on the second shot. So yellow ring by the rough line. I'm gonna play here with 7 topspin to be adapted for Apocalypse 6 plus. There's 7 topspin and half a bar of side spin to the right. Adjustment here is being played as 1-1 plus 1. So that's going to be a max plus 15 adjustment power 5 ball settings. Center the ball, and here it is super crucial that you do not have any overpower on. Having overpower here risks that you go directly into the rough and then it's game over. So make sure to not do that. You can see that we are close already. We have a little room, but don't be stupid. Center the ball properly, and we're looking to be close to the rough line here. Pack the Amazon to make sure that you do have the possibility for a save if you would be having a great left or a bad great left off tee. So for the second shot, we're going to play with our Cataclysm here, and now we need to have a Cataclysm level 6 or better. So we're gonna play 1 right spin. You can see here now that I'm playing with 7.5 bar topspin, but most importantly, I'm letting the ball guideline to go 1.5 green square through the hole with Cataclysm level 8 and 7. And Cataclysm level 6, you're gonna have the ball guideline just to the hole instead because you have a worse ball guideline. Now, right, adjustment here, plus 23 is max distance, right? So from max distance, which is plus 23, we play max minus 5% elevation P5. But now when having plus 20, what I've done here is that I deducted 0.2. So I would like us to deduct 0.1, 0.1, then 0.2, then 0.3, 0.3, and so forth. And that's obviously going to be suggested in the slide. When you play with a Silver State ball like this, make sure that you don't have any underpower on, because that's very easy. I actually missed it live due to having underpower on. Because the ball is very small. Getting this one to drop left side, right side, or dead center perfect, I don't care, because this is a big drop to get on a tough hole such as hole number 18. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching this playthrough for the back nine of the opening round / weekend round for Master with the tournament win. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something. And if you like the type of concept, make sure to comment in the comment section below. And again, if you look to improve your game, go and get the best guides on the market on patreon.com/golfclashtommy. Link is directly in the description down below. Thank you once again for watching, and good luck in your Golf Clash game.